Hello! Welcome to Dunkandeggbricks, and to a video that I'm sure some of you have been looking forward to for quite some time, and I know I've been looking forward to it too. It's time to continue my Hogwarts MOC. Here we are with part 51. Now, as you will have seen in the title of the video, we are going to be making the Divination Classroom today, and I will be using pieces from the Divination Hogwarts Moment book, the shell or the cover of which you can see just here at the back. And we're going to be creating this in a new part of the castle. For those of you who don't know or just want a little reminder, what I've built so far from the Great Hall on the left over to the bell towers on the right is just the first half of my Hogwarts build, although actually it's more like 2/3. And the next bit is not going to be following along in that kind of line of buildings. Where it's actually going to be situated, if you can imagine it, is behind the viaduct, not the viaduct entrance building, the quad building. So the quad building with the grand staircase tower on one side and the stone tower on the other side. So it would actually be behind that. Now, in my current display, that would actually be through the wall and into the neighbour's house, which I don't think they'd really like very much. So what I'm doing is putting that display to the side of my current build. So when I'm displaying it, it will be in those kind of two sections, but I'm also designing it, or have designed it, so that if I ever did get the space, you know, if I took it out somewhere, or if I just displayed it on the floor in the room here, then it would all connect up in the appropriate way. So I thought I'd start by building the piece which is actually connected to the existing castle. So that's one side of the quad, which is the side kind of on the Great Hall side of the quad. And for that, we're going to need some pieces. So what I've actually done is I've been super organised, and I've gone and sorted all the pieces, that's actually empty, into these little plastic boxes here. So you can see I've done them by colour, lots of tan parts as you would expect, and then lots of other parts here. So they're all sorted. I've got my laptop just off screen here, and yeah, let's go ahead and follow through the building steps as I put this next part of the castle together. As you would expect, I've started from the base. So here we've got a couple of plates. We've got an 8x16 here and an 8x4 for a total length of 20 studs. This length was really decided by the distance between the grand staircase tower and the stone bridge tower. So I wanted the quad to be roughly square, so the other three sides are going to be about the same length, although I'm actually only going to be replicating two of them in my build. The third side will be completely open so that we can see in. So we will just need to start off with our very base layer. I won't go through every single layer in the build, but I thought just for now I'll just show you the outline. So here is what it's going to look like, and you'll see where all the different entrances and bits are. Just a 1x8 brick there to hold everything together, and then a 1x1 to finish it off there. So this is the rough shape. This is attached only on one side. I have got something else to fix that other side in as well. And here is going to be where it connects to the rest of the castle. So there's going to be a doorway here, kind of under the actual staircase within the grand staircase tower. And then this side will be completely open. Here is another doorway which will actually lead out to the outside of the castle. It is a feature on the model as it stands at the Warner Brothers Studios tour. And then on this end, it's actually going to lead on to the next part of the castle. So that's the other side of the quad that's going to go across here. And you'll see what goes in there. I won't spoil it just yet. So I think the best thing for me to do would be to go ahead and build up the rest of this up to the next floor. A lot of the details and techniques and construction are very similar to the other side of the quad that's already been built, the side that has the Transfiguration Classroom in it. And actually, in a lot of ways, this shares similarities with the kind of modular style that the Hogwarts sets take nowadays, except obviously I've extended a little bit over that 16 stud limit. So it's not the most exciting build, but I think it's a good way to get my eye back in and get back into making more of Hogwarts. So I'm going to get on and do that and show you when I get to the next level. Here we are with the ground floor built. So on top of this will go the first floor. Remember, I'm using the British terminology there, so don't worry, I haven't got that wrong. I did say I was going to use something to secure these two plates together at the front, and I'm just using one of my standard brazier builds. If you haven't seen them before, they are very, very simple. They're just the design I came up with that can be dotted all around the castle. I originally had it closer to the wall on the opposite side, but I just thought it made sense here. The technique that I'm using here to support the first floor at the front is one that I'm kind of borrowing from my bell towers and then the Defense Against the Dark Arts / Room of Requirement build. It's been used tons of times in official sets, most recently I think in the Lion Knight's Castle. Just uses these pieces how they were intended, just the longest distance that's possible is 1x12, or I suppose you could use a 2x16 or 14 plate, but I settled on this because it was the appropriate length, and that just means you can see all the way on the inside, and I think that's much more preferable than having loads of pillars in the way. At the moment, I'm not actually going to put anything else in here. This is really intended as a corridor, just because of what's going to be down at the end. And shall I tell you what's going to be down there? Yeah, so because we're getting to that part of the castle, we're going to get to build a room that I've been looking forward to for a while, and that's going to be the Gryffindor common room and dormitories. So that is what's going to be across the end here. This is where the portrait of the fat lady is going to be. So that's really why I wanted to keep the corridor clear. I might add a couple of things along here. I've got a grandfather clock build, which has been looking for a home. Maybe a little bit of a Stranger Things Easter egg as well. Yeah, but apart from that, I'm going to keep this nice and clear so you get a kind of direct line from the grand staircase tower all the way through. So it's kind of a mixture of the position of Gryffindor Common Room in the Philosopher's Stone and then how it looks in Prisoner of Azkaban, where it's actually directly off the grand staircase. But anyway, right, let's carry on. I'm going to go ahead and build most of the rest of this. So I'm going to finish the floor and build on top of it, and then I think I'll just go through the decorations that I'm putting on separately after that. We're not actually quite done with the exterior build, but before we go ahead and do that, there is one thing on the interior that we need to do, and that is to add in these red pieces, or dark red, I should say. Now, I've taken these builds basically straight from the Hogwarts Moment set. It was the perfect place to use them. They just represent the curtains or drapes, which are all around Professor Trelawney's Divination Classroom. And the way that I've designed this, they're actually also a structural element, so they actually go along the back of the classroom, and they're then going to support the next bit of roof, because that actually sticks out another stud, obviously. So I've designed these basically using the parts from the set. So there's an awful lot of dark red 1x1s. There are some places where I would have used 1x2s, and in fact in future I may go back in and repurpose them and liberate some of these 1x1s. The other thing I need to do is to add in a bunch of these dark tan 2x3 plates. So this is to bring the level up to the correct height so that it actually matches where the roof segments need to go on. I seem to be a couple of plates short, but I'm sure I'll find them. And then that means that there's actually going to be a little bit of shelf that I can attach one particular thing to, and also put some bits and pieces of clutter on there as well. So I will just go ahead and find the two missing pieces, and then we'll finish off this part of the build and get onto the furniture. So I was clearly losing my mind when I made the bricklink orders for this build, because I could not find those two extra 2x3s in dark tan, and I'm also missing two 1x1 red or dark red bricks. They're obviously all in there, but there's actually another piece that I'm going to show you in a second which is missing them, so not sure what's going on there. I'm going to have to add those to my bricklink wanted lists and get them another time. But anyway, let me just briefly show you the finished exterior of the building. So you've got the sloping roof there, the battlements or the crenellations, and then I've just capped it off with plates. Now the other part of the quad is actually capped off with tiles, but in a future video it will become obvious as to why I've gone ahead and done it in plates, and I may go and redo the quad building for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and put some interior things in here. In fact, you can actually see the reflection of one just here, but I'll show you that in a second. First up, where the missing bricks are, is Trelawney's chair. This build is 99% copied from the Hogwarts Moment set. All I've done is remove the modified plate at the back. There should be 1x1 bricks in either of those spots, so I'll go ahead and order those. I don't have any spares. That's just going to go at this end. I'm going to do that in between studs, so it's just slightly away from the wall, and it can also basically be centered in the available 5-stud space. Probably made my life a little bit tricky because the next thing I'm going to put in is right behind, and that's going to be this panel with stickers on it showing teapots and cups. I can't actually remember if in the original set this is meant to be put on the panel upside down, but I left it off so that I could put it the right way up if necessary. So can I get that in behind there? Yeah, just about. So there we go. That's going to sit in there right next to Trelawney's chair. That looks good to me. And then over on the other side, this again is another build taken straight from the Hogwarts Moment set. It's just one of these kind of cupboard pieces with these very loose cupboard doors that flop around everywhere. And then on top, I've just put a couple of little accessories from the set. Might change those out in the future, but they look fine to me at the moment. Can I get this in? The cupboard door's getting in the way. Yeah, there we go. That fits just about right. So there we go. That looks nice. And then the thing you could see reflected is this. So this again is a build taken straight from the set. I've just got myself a second one. So these are obviously crystal balls, which is a minifigure head in trans light blue with one of these Mysterio fishbowl elements on the top. And I'm going to pop one just there, I believe, and one, I'm going to get this wrong, here. And then around them, we've got more builds from the sets. These are little chairs, or little, as they're described in the book, little poofs for the characters to sit on. So I've just got a couple of extra. Pop one there, move this out the way, one there, put this back, and then another one there. So there we go, room for 4 students to sit and for Trelawney up at the top as well. Now, of course, we do need some extra teapots and teacups, so luckily Lego makes plenty of those. I think these are just the ones from the set. I do have extra somewhere, and I will be putting them in when the time comes. Some elements of this I tend to just kind of make up after the fact because it's more interesting to make them with pieces I already have than to play around with them on Bricklink Studio. Is that going to go there? Is that going to sit in the middle of the stud? I'm just going to put it there for now because I don't trust myself not to break everything. The other couple of accessories that I've actually got for the middle of the classroom are these 2 books, one of which I believe is, yeah, this one came in the Hogwarts Moment set, got this fantastic printed tile for the Grim, and then this one, which I think actually came in the Astronomy Tower set, and this one just has a sticker with some meaningless scribbles, but I do like that sticker on the front, which looks great. So I think I'm going to use both of these, perhaps have one in the hand of a character so it's actually open, you can see the inside, and the other one tucked away somewhere. Then just going to sit there for now and hope that they don't fall down. There's just one final build for this set, and or this build rather, one final micro build, and I'm just going to grab one other thing so I can really show you what this is meant to be. So what I needed to grab was the cover of the Divination book to show you one of the stickers inside. So one of the big features of the room is this golden kind of lantern type thing, and obviously it's represented as a sticker here, so I did think about getting the sticker off the book cover, perhaps using Robin Hood Brick's patented hot tea technique. No copyright infringement. Obviously didn't decide to go ahead and do that, so what I've actually done is created my own version using Lego pieces. It was quite a struggle to do this. I did want to make something slightly more accurate. I looked at photos from the actual set, but it was making something that was actually small enough. I could have gone for a very big model and it would have looked great, but it would have been very, very large. So what I've gone for is this. It's just these 2 parts held together with a Technic axle, if it will come apart. There we are. Nice and simple, and just held with one of these bar pieces. And in order to actually support it, we're going to pop a couple of these jumpers. One there and one there. These are supposed to both be in pearl gold, although they're actually, oops, dropping the books, slightly different. This one was the one I already had, and it looks, yeah, it looks interesting colour. But anyway, yeah, let's pop that there, and then let's get some 1x1 modified tiles with clips. Pop them there, connect that up there, and then there we go. Let's get this out of the way and put these books somewhere safe for the time being. So there we go, that is my Divination Classroom. Like I said, I am probably going to go ahead and put a bunch of stuff along here, like extra teacups. I think I've got some different style crystal balls which I can put up along there, and then I'll populate this with some characters and get the pieces that I'm also missing. So there we go, that is the Divination Classroom, and this is my start at continuing Hogwarts Castle. So let me know what you think. Have you been looking forward to this for a while? Has this lived up to your expectations? Let me know in the comments down below and what parts of the castle you're looking forward to me building. Obviously quite a lot of interesting things to come. Like I said, Gryffindor House, the common room and the dorms. I've also got the clock tower, including the hospital wing. I've got the courtyard. I've been working on designing the wooden bridge as well, and then other parts of the grounds, including the owlery, possibly modifying Hagrid's hut, the Quidditch pitch. Lots of stuff to go, and there's still interiors of the other part of the castle left. So subscribe for that, give the video a like, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again very soon.